right now on Eyewitness News at 6 a.m. on this Tuesday. A fatal blow caught on camera. Why the bouncer could be facing some serious charges for that deadly punch. Breaking overnight. Driver loses control, striking a woman, then slamming into a West Philadelphia home. We'll tell you what police are saying about the crash. And getting interesting. Not what you want to hear about that Sixers loss right there. We'll have much more ahead in our broadcast today. Today is April 26, 2022. My name is William. Let's get the latest on our weather with meteorologist Larissa Abreu, my sister, and then Aunt Chandler doing traffic after that. Go ahead, ladies.
You can see here green, yellow, and red. And well, I think just about everyone knows what those colors mean. If you are heading out the door for a morning run, great running weather. It is overcast. Temperatures are in the 50s. So it's actually comfy to get out there, lace those boots or sneakers up and get out there for a run. As we approach the afternoon, rain begins to develop, so obviously just go out there with caution. And by the evening, it's probably best to use the gym, or if not, just stay home. I'm not sure. Whatever you're into, this is what we're working with this afternoon. 71 here in Philly, a couple of showers developing in the afternoon, a few gusty thunderstorms, a possibility along the shore. And up in the Poconos, Chandler, we're in the low 60s, but we're milder today, just a little wet.
All right, not too bad. At least we're warmer, and the morning commute starting off pretty dry, so that's some good news for you if you're traveling out the door right now. Live look at the Ben Franklin Bridge. Nothing to tell you about on any of our area bridges. Actually, visibility looking great in the distance. You can make out the Philadelphia skyline. So no incidents to report on our area bridges, but I want to take you to the Schuylkill Expressway. Starting to see just a few brake lights in the eastbound direction as you make your way past our camera at Spring Garden Street and toward the Vine in Center City here. We had a closure overnight eastbound on the Schuylkill. That has since cleared near South Street. Elsewhere, we are still following a closure in Atlantic County. Route 322 is closed eastbound and westbound right near Piney Hollow Road. That is for a large stretch there due to overnight construction, I should say. AC Expressway will wait for now.
Wow, that's interesting to see right there. All right, thank you, Aunt Chandler. And thank you too, my sister Larissa. 2 minutes to 6. A double murder suicide all happened in Chester County's Kennett Square. Let's go to my auntie, Waukesha Bailey, joining us live with that devastating suicide. It's just so devastating. Good morning, Aunt Waukesha.
Incident. Meanwhile, they say that they have reason to believe that this was a case of domestic violence.
The loss of three lives, I mean, it's a tragedy.
This Kennett Square home on Federal Walk looks like a happy home from the outside. Their Easter decorations are still up. But police say they've come to this home one too many times for calls of domestic violence. 8 a.m. Monday, police responded to a welfare check. Inside the home, they found bodies of a woman and man in their 50s and a child only 12 years old. Police found a handgun near the unidentified man. Police are calling this tragedy a double homicide that turned into a suicide. The district's attorney's office released this statement in part, quote, "We will use all our resources to determine why this heartbreaking and senseless incident happened. This is an ongoing investigation and we will update the public as soon as possible." Meanwhile, police have reason to believe this may have been the result of domestic violence. Local experts say, watch out for signs.
It may begin with basic the demeaning, the threats, the verbal abuse, then the economic abuse, and the threat of harming the children, harming a pet, and then in some cases it will escalate to the physical violence. One death is one too many.
And lead authorities have not released the names of the deceased. Meanwhile, they are encouraging there are resources if you know anyone who is suffering from domestic violence or if you yourself are a victim. Reporting from Chester County, Waukesha Bailey, CBS 3.
All right, thank you, Aunt Lakeisha. Breaking overnight. A car hits a woman in Philadelphia, then crashes into the front porch of the row home. You can see how smashed up the front end was. That happened at 38th and Parish in the Mantua neighborhood at 2:30 this morning. The woman who was struck by the car was rushed over to Penn Presbyterian Hospital. Also breaking overnight, a man is shot in Germantown and is in critical condition. The victim was found late last night around 11:30 on the 5300 block of Newhall Street. He's in his late 20s to early 30s. He was shot several times. There were several dollar bills at the scene of the crime. No arrests have been made. Also breaking overnight, a duplex catches fire in Chester, Delaware County on West 8th Street in Chester. So with that being said, nobody inside the home was hurt, but the fire also damaged a unit next door. A woman living there made it out okay without any injuries. There's no word yet on any causes of the fire. Let's talk about the Sixers, shall we? We have to deal with this morning. As rough as it is, it was definitely rough, to tell you the truth. Here's my Uncle Ross live at the Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia with the very latest on what's going on. I did not see the game, and that's all y'all need to know. Uncle Ross.
They're going to need you as a fan. Listen, the Sixers, we know the fans are no strangers to booing, and they let their guys hear it last night after dropping Game 5 and giving the Raptors life now as the series shifts back to Toronto. Hopefully they'll have Janelle rooting for them in Game 6. And meanwhile, a sellout crowd last night at the Wells Fargo Center, hoping to celebrate a series-clinching win, but they would not get that opportunity. We know Joel Embiid is playing through some pain right now after the Sixers' star big man suffered a torn ligament in his right thumb during Game 3. Embiid had 20 points and 11 rebounds last night, but was terrible defensively. Those were his words, not mine. And the rest of the Sixers starters struggled, shooting less than 41% from the field, and their bench got outscored 29-11. After trailing the Raptors for much of the first half, the Sixers couldn't cut the deficit any closer than 9 points in the second half. They would end up losing by a score of 103-88. The Sixers stars played bad shooting and turnovers for the team's poor showing in Game 5.
It's going to be nice when we don't shoot the basketball well, but we got to do everything else in the sense of not turn the ball over and rebound the basketball very well. And I don't think we did that in the beginning of the game.
We didn't make shots today, but, you just got to keep trusting, and I think we will do better.
Got to keep trusting. And let me give you a little silver lining this morning. Here it is. No team in NBA history has ever lost a series after leading it 3-0. The Sixers did lead this series 3-0. They'll have another chance to close this out in Toronto in Game 6. That tips off at 7 o'clock on Thursday night.
Yep, definitely looking forward to Thursday night's game right there. I've been a diehard fan since 1998, and everyone else has been a diehard fan since a long period of time. Thanks, Uncle Ross. And you're taking a live view outside Ocean City County, New Jersey, in Cape May County, that is. Meteorologist Larissa Abreu, my sister, has the latest on her first check on the forecast. Go ahead, Larissa, take it away, sister. As you can see, she was doing morning aerobics. But she's a meteorologist. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Alan's out. So you can agree, we're off to a mild start. Now, it is going to be a mild day. Take a look at your temperatures here as the afternoon pushes on. Notice that we will be in the upper 60s, even low 70s in some spots. And it's toward the afternoon that rain chances begin to increase. We'll track rain developing here after 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And that's when we are just in for what's going to be an unsettled afternoon and into the evening. Just rain at the moment. A few isolated thunderstorms are not out of the question. The best chance for thunderstorms will be South Jersey along
the shore. Delaware also a possibility. Now, once this cold front clears, behind it, the weather becomes chilly. Chilly for April standards. Let's go ahead and take a look at Wednesday's morning lows. You can see 30s and 40s here, even 20s. This is more reminiscent of what we experienced during the month of March. And temps are going to be like we're in the middle of March. 56 here on Wednesday, 57 as we approach Thursday. They finally climb out of the 50s by Friday, but still a bit blustery. The good news is the weekend is looking great. A lot of people will be in Philadelphia for that Broad Street run. Right now, it's looking nice. Partly sunny, a little bit milder. In fact, right at average with temperatures at 69. And then we break into the 70s finally by Monday.
Yep, Monday is definitely the pick of the week for that. Thank you, Larissa. Coming up next, President Trump is ordered to pay up by a New York judge. And a frightening crash as students were sent flying after a car crashed into a school bus. We'll explain what happened when we return to CBS 3 Eyewitness News at 6 a.m. So stay with me, please.